You were never meant to be rich, and I'm going to tell you exactly why. So picture this. There's this guy, Amit. He's 26, works in a fancy IT office in Gurgaon. On the surface, his life looks perfect, right? He just made one of those proud-to-announce posts on LinkedIn. His parents are telling everyone he's settled, and he's making a cool 12 lakhs a year. But here's the thing. Inside, Amit feels completely and utterly empty. He's just staring at an Excel sheet, but his mind is a million miles away, watching some travel vlogger on his phone and just wondering, is this it? Is this all my life is ever going to be?
And that feeling Amit has, that numbness, that feeling of just going through the motions every single day, it's captured perfectly in this quote from the poet Posh. See, the most dangerous thing isn't failing. It's the quiet, slow death of our dreams. It's when we just go to work, come home, watch something, sleep, and just accept it. And you know what? This isn't just a mid-story. It's a silent epidemic. It's happening to millions of us.
Okay, let's just look at the numbers for a second because this is wild. A massive 2024 Gallup survey found that a whopping 77% of workers around the world are not engaged in their jobs. They're either quiet quitting, doing the bare minimum, or they're just completely checked out. And get this, in South Asia, it's even worse. Only 21% of people actually feel engaged. That means nearly 8 out of every 10 people are literally dragging themselves to a job they couldn't care less about, day in, day out. This isn't just a little sad, it's a huge, expensive problem, for you and for everyone.
So, what's the solution we always hear? Every motivational speaker on Instagram is yelling it. Follow your passion, quit your 9 to 5. Amit heard this all the time, but every time he tried to, look deep inside himself to find this magical passion, he just found nothing. And it just made him feel worse, like there was something broken inside him. But what if the advice itself is the real problem?
This slide breaks it down perfectly. There's some amazing research on this. A big study from Stanford in 2018 found that most of us, like Amit, are stuck in what's called a fixed mindset. We believe passion is some kind of hidden treasure, and our job is to just find it. But the study shows that's totally wrong. Passion isn't a treasure you find, it's a plant. It's a tiny seed you have to water, nurture, and actively grow over time.
So here's the secret sauce. The author Cal Newport says, follow your passion is terrible advice because it makes you passive. You're just sitting around waiting for lightning to strike. The real formula? It's the complete opposite. You have to explore things, you have to try them, and you have to get really, really good at something. It's the process of building a skill that actually creates the passion. It doesn't just show up out of nowhere.
Okay, so if the formula is that simple, why are more than 80% of us still feeling totally trapped? Why can't we just start exploring? Well, it's because the system we live in is actually designed to build a cage around you. And the scary part is, it's really, really hard to even see the bars.
And this is how the trap gets built. For a lot of us, it starts when we're just 16 years old. Our parents spend lakhs on coaching for IIT or NEET. That pressure turns into a massive education loan. Amit, for example, had a 10 lakh loan before he even earned his first rupee. So his first few years of salary, poof, gone. Then comes the EMI for a new bike, then a car, and then the big one, the 20-year home loan. Suddenly, half your salary is gone before you even see it, and quitting that job you hate, it's not an option anymore.
And this cage, it's reinforced by all these invisible forces. You've got FOMO, fear of missing out, every time you see someone's vacation pics. You've got this toxic hustle culture that tells you working 70-hour weeks is something to be proud of. And it starts way back in school, where we're taught to be obedient, not to explore. All of these things work together to keep us locked in, literally stealing the best years of our lives.
But listen, it is not hopeless, I promise. There is a way out. Let's go back to Amit. One night, a panic attack lands him in the hospital. And in that quiet moment, he remembered something he hadn't thought about in 14 years. Wood carving. It was a hobby he used to do with his grandfather. And that one little memory, that was the first key to unlocking his cage.
Now, you're probably thinking, learn a new skill. Who has time for that? It takes years. But here's the mind-blowing part. An author named Josh Kaufman found that it only takes about 20 hours of focused practice to get pretty darn good at something new. Just 20 hours. That's about 45 minutes a day for a month. All of a sudden, learning something new doesn't seem so impossible, does it?
But okay, what happens after those first 20 hours? What happens when it starts to get hard? That's where this idea comes in. Grit. A researcher named Angela Duckworth discovered that the single biggest predictor of success in life isn't your IQ or your talent. It's grit. And grit is simply passion plus perseverance. It's the ability to stick with something for the long haul. And just like passion, it's not something you're born with.
it's something you build. So, how do we put all of this together into a real plan? Well, it boils down to this simple but incredibly powerful 3E formula: explore, engage, and excel. This is your practical step-by-step map to get out of the cage.
Let's start with step 1. Explore. Get this. The average student in India only knows about 10 or 15 different career options. But did you know there are over 12,000 recognized careers out there? 12,000! So for the next 30 days, your only job is to spend 30 minutes a day just looking into a new one. That's it. Just broaden your horizons.
Okay, after you've explored for a month, you'll have a list of things that sound pretty cool. Now it's time to engage. You're going to pick 5 to 7 of those ideas, and you're going to spend 20 hours on each one, actually getting your hands dirty. So if you're curious about baking, don't just watch videos. Actually bake some cakes and give them to your neighbors. You have to do it. That's engagement.
And finally, step 3 is to excel. Out of all the things you tried, one of them will give you that amazing feeling of flow state. You know what I'm talking about, when you're so absorbed in what you're doing that you completely lose track of time. That's the one. Now you dedicate at least 6 months to really truly building that skill. This is the grind. This is where you push past that initial excitement and build real, undeniable grit.
Now, following this plan can definitely help you build a side income, maybe even an escape plan. But what if we could aim for something even bigger? What if this whole journey could actually lead you to your life's true purpose? To really get that, we need to look at this beautiful concept from Japan.
And that concept is called ikigai. It basically means a reason for being. It's the thing that makes you want to jump out of bed in the morning. In Okinawa, Japan, they have one of the highest numbers of 100-year-olds in the world. And in their language, there is no word for retirement. Why? Because they have ikigai. Their work is their purpose, and it keeps them going.
So ikigai is found at the intersection of 4 things. The first one, and maybe the most obvious, is doing something that you genuinely love. This is that spark, that curiosity you find during the explore phase we talked about.
The second thing is doing something you are good at. And let me say it again, this is not about some God-given talent you were born with. This is the skill you build with those 20 hours of practice and the months of grit that come after.
Number 3 is that your work is something the world actually needs. This is what gives your work meaning beyond just yourself. It connects you to a bigger purpose.
And the last piece of the puzzle is that it's something you can be paid for. When all 4 of these circles overlap, that's where you find your ikigai. But here's the most important part. You don't find your ikigai by staring at a diagram. You build it, piece by piece, by actually doing the work we just talked about.
Okay, I've laid out the entire plan for you, from the psychology behind why we're stuck to the exact practical steps to get out. So, what's stopping you? Let's be really honest and just call out the excuses that are probably popping into your head right now.
You think you're too old? Wrong. The average age people change careers is 39. You are not too old. Worried your parents won't agree? Don't try to convince them with words. Show them with results. The moment Amit sold his first piece of woodwork, his mother's questions stopped. And if you think you don't have money, come on. Exploring most of these passions costs nothing. You can start right now with what you have. These aren't reasons. They're just excuses. The data shows that 85% of people will hear all of this, feel a little spark of excitement, and then tomorrow morning, they'll do nothing. They'll hit the snooze button and fall right back into the same old routine. But you, if you've watched this far, I know that spark inside you is still alive. Please don't let it die. Your country doesn't need another cog in the machine. It needs you, your ideas, your creativity, your unique spark. So here's the challenge. Are you going to be part of the 85%, or are you going to take the first, small step tonight?